Jack lived in a small town, stuck in a rut like most 20-somethings. His days were a cycle of odd jobs, video games, and complaining about his boring life. One afternoon, after getting fired, again, Jack wandered into the local farmer's market, where an old man with wild eyes handed him a single green bean. "This isn't just a bean," the old man whispered. "Plant it, and you'll find your destiny." Jack chuckled, but having nothing to lose, he took the bean home and planted it in an old coffee mug on his windowsill. That night, as Jack lay in bed, a deep, rumbling sound shook the apartment. Crack! Boom! Jack leapt to his feet and gasped. A giant beanstalk had burst through the roof, spiraling into the sky. It shimmered under the moonlight, each leaf glowing faintly green. Without thinking, Jack grabbed his hoodie and climbed. Jack climbed for what felt like hours until he emerged into a world above the clouds, a land of floating castles and golden fields. In front of him stood a massive castle with doors tall enough to fit skyscrapers. Jack's heart raced. He pushed the door open and stepped inside. The castle's hallways sparkled with gold. Strange objects hovered in mid-air, floating candles, enchanted mirrors, and a table piled high with glowing fruit. But the real treasure was at the center of the hall, a golden goose sitting atop a pile of golden eggs. This could change my life," Jack whispered. He reached for the goose, but as soon as his fingers touched its feathers, the goose let out a loud honk. Thunderous footsteps shook the floor. Jack spun around to see a giant, at least 40 feet tall, looming in the doorway. His eyes glowed with golden light. "Fee, fi, fo, fum!" boomed the giant. "Who dares to steal from me?" Jack panicked. He grabbed the goose and sprinted toward the door, the giant's footsteps crashing behind him. Jack raced to the beanstalk and began sliding down as fast as he could. The golden goose flapped its wings wildly, nearly knocking him off balance. The giant leaned over the edge of the clouds. "Come back, thief!" he roared. "That goose was my Netflix password." Jack hit the ground with a thud, gasping for air. He looked up just as the beanstalk began to wither and collapse into itself, leaving no trace of the magical world above. The golden goose clucked happily in his arms, and Jack smiled. His boring life was over. He had a new adventure ahead, one filled with magic, mystery, and maybe a few golden eggs to pay off his student loans. "Destiny, huh?" Jack said. "Not bad for a coffee mug and a bean." Let me know if you'd like to explore more about Jack's adventures or add anything else to the story.